Video on diesel exhaust fluid. Diesel exhaust fluid, which from here on in the video will be referred to as piss, because diesel exhaust fluid is water and urea. Urea is basically ammonia, basically piss. Just an opinion, not a scientist. Okay, but the government finds it necessary that we inject this piss into the exhaust system of these vehicles. This happens to be a 2013 Chevy Duramax 6.6. Badass vehicle. So where do you have to add this piss? Well, you come, is it by the, here, let's go look. Is it by the fuel tank? Like right here? No, just diesel fuel. So I wonder where you would have to add it. Let's see. It's under the hood. Let's look. It's right. Probably can't even hardly see it, but it's right there. The blue cap. It says, put your piss in here. Okay, and it's funny because see that little, call it a funnel looking thing around the cap? Do you think that's to catch your spilled piss and get it into that tube? No, that's to direct it underneath onto the ground. Whatever genius thought of that is crazy. And when you're trying to put this stuff in, the piss, you come over, and because the hood, it's at the crook of the hood there, you go to put it in and you're hitting this, you got this one has a spout, which is good, but gee, how much easier would it have been if it was by the fuel tank? Too easy, I suppose. Anyhow, this piss has to get injected into the exhaust fluid for this thing to run. Now, the government yo-hos that thought of the piss factor here are so worried that people won't put the piss in their vehicle and run it that it has to depower the vehicle if there is no piss in there. So if all of a sudden there's no piss in your tank up there, it'll warn you, oh, you got 400 miles to go until the vehicle depowered. This one happens to get depowered once down to 65 miles an hour, then down to 55, and if you still don't put the piss in the tank, 4 miles an hour is all the faster you can go. Now, is that a necessity that it's going to save your engine because it's out of oil or something? No. They're so worried about there not being piss to get injected into the exhaust that it's regulated to go ahead and make it depower the vehicle and basically say, hey asshole, put the stuff in there or we're not going to let you go because you're going to kill some atmosphere, some trees, whatever, a polar bear. Well, also they're so afraid that no one's going to put piss in there that it is mandated that they put a bunch of weird different regulations that would alert the vehicle that you're trying to trick it and not have piss in there, and so then it has to depower the vehicle if it assumes you're tricking it, which happened to this one. All of a sudden the light came on, said, okay, DEF fluid empty, will depower. It wasn't empty, it was full. But apparently after taking it to GM, we were told that, oh yeah, it basically, if it thinks you're tricking it, it has to go into a lockup mode. Then you have to go in and get it unlocked, okay? Once again, keep in mind how ridiculous this is. You got a perfectly running vehicle that will leave your ass stranded, you and your family, in unsafe conditions, all because it might spuff some shit out into the atmosphere and kill a tree. I doubt it. I doubt it highly because the diesel motors actually are more efficient and cleaner than any gasoline-powered motor. But I digress. Either way, it's ridiculous that A, it has to depower the vehicle if it thinks there's no piss in the tank on a perfectly capable running vehicle. But number two, the consumer has the added impact that the engineers, and you know, if you, in this particular case, GM, but they all have to do it, and I'm sure they all give you the same bullshit. Oh, the government makes us do it. That's why it is. Well, you know, you're right. But the government doesn't make you make a stupid freaking system that doesn't work properly. The government tells you, here's what you got to do. It's up for, in this case, GM, the engineers, to say, here's how we do it. Well, on this particular one, they screwed it up. Basically, because the tank has 3 different sensors, basically 30% and empty and full. And if that gets screwed up anywhere, it doesn't know what to do and it shuts down the vehicle, or it could. Asinine, just absolutely asinine. So basically, if you don't have a diesel vehicle and you don't care, hey, fine. If you do, or even if you don't and you do care, call your congressman. That's the only way this shit is going to get fixed, because I'll tell you what, there's no reason, none whatsoever, that this thing should have to let you stranded in the middle of nowhere because there's no piss in the tank. They might not like it because it might like be a little more environmentally